Hello, you. It's me. I thought this was cute. Anyway, I am looking over the video called Huge Cancer Update, and I didn't get very far into it before I noticed something that might be incorrect. And I do want to say, she has uterine cancer, but the beginning of this video is a food haul, a grocery haul. Interesting way to start your huge cancer update. Anyway, I'm just gonna play for a minute here and let her speak, and then I'll tell you the inconsistencies that I found.
I did get a CT. What I had scheduled was an MRI and a CT. I got the CT first, and as you guys know, the only thing that looked off was my lymph nodes were bigger than they should be, which could possibly indicate that my cancer has spread. If you guys are new here, I do have uterine cancer.
Okay, so she said that large lymph nodes could mean cancer. So let's look at that. According to a quick Google search, it says rarely swollen lymph nodes are caused by cancer. It usually occurs as a result of infection from bacteria or virus. Okay, it's about infections. It's not about cancer, which right there, it makes me angry because her claiming to have uterine cancer, and again, I'm not saying she didn't have precancerous cells. I think that's very possible, but her quote unquote giving us information about it is already incorrect. It was bad enough in the first video that I played that she was like, well, I'm not going to talk about what I'm going to do until I'm doing it because I don't want anyone to tell me differently. It's like, well, other people, I know for myself, if I had cancer, the first thing I'd want to do is talk to other people who have cancer or who have had cancer and is now in remission, because I want to know their experience so that I can listen to that and make better decisions for myself. Ultimately, the choice is my own, but if I were in that situation, I want to know what other people went through and what their experiences were so that I could make a better decision. But here, she's already potentially not telling the truth. Oversized lymph nodes is an infection. So anyway, we'll continue with what she has to say, which also brings about something else that she might have been not telling the truth about.
Because of the lymph nodes, they wanted me to do a PET scan because that would be able to show if it is cancer. It would light up. My lymph nodes would light up if it was cancer. So I actually was going to do my MRI and my PET scan in the same day. I actually didn't get to do either of them. I went to the appointment, and turns out the PET scan had a weight limit of 400 pounds. So I am 88 pounds too big. That was devastating. I was kind of expecting it.
Now, isn't it interesting that she always says, oh, she's done all these things. But here, she's saying she couldn't because she was over the weight limit, which is what she has said multiple occasions. And now suddenly she's not. Oh, she's the exact weight and they didn't want to do it. Come on. It's these little lies and things that make no sense. I mean, if this is true that she couldn't do it because she didn't fit in the machine, that's sad. And you want to say, oh my goodness, Amber, that's so terrible. Let's help you maybe get down some weight so that you can go into those machines, so that you can find out more about what's going on with you. But she never did that. Never did that. But she does have the time to put on makeup and false eyelashes. She doesn't have the time to actually look into her health.
Surprised it didn't happen with the CT scan. Glad it didn't. So the MRI was also too big for it. There was not a weight limit, but it's more so like a body mass limit. I wasn't able to fit inside of the area that you need to.
Okay, so here's another. She couldn't fit in the MRI. And yet, she said that she did all of these tests every 6 months after her surgery. Where is the truth? Where is the truth? Because it seems like 90% of what she's saying just isn't the truth. And I find it so irritating and insulting, because there are people out there who actually have had uterine cancer, who actually have experienced what that's like, and she's just spitting on them as if, oh, she's all knowing, a freaking Dr. Lynn medicine woman. She knows everything, and yet everything she said here is, except for the CT scan, she couldn't get anything else because she didn't fit, and that swollen lymph nodes means that she might have cancer, when all it means is she has an infection. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. It's not, especially in her case where she is a larger woman, which larger just means extremely unhealthy. And so they want to do everything possible to try to get her to be healthy again. She doesn't even try to get herself healthy again. And this is what I think just drives people crazy. When this was happening, I tuned out. I tuned out completely. Because one, I thought, well, if she has cancer, then I want to respect her and her privacy, which of course she didn't have any. She told everything. But the second thing is, everything she's telling seems to be lies and falsehoods or huge exaggerations. And this, again, is so frustrating. I wanted to feel bad for her at this time. And like I said, I stepped away for a bit until after she got her surgery. Her and Beck were settled into their new place. And then I started to watch again. But going back on these and looking at them, they just make me mad, because she's not telling the truth. Cancer is such a huge thing. And to lie about it, and to lie about symptoms, and to lie about what you did and didn't do, it's so aggravating. And it's just a slap in the face to anybody who has actually suffered, who might have actually died because of uterine cancer. Who had to suffer greatly for months or even years, being sick all the time, actually being ill. And let me tell you, if they were being ill like that, are they going to be wearing false eyelashes? And are they going to be doing grocery hauls? I mean, they might, just to show, as somebody who has cancer, who's trying to fight cancer, this is what I'm eating. That I would watch. But that was not what she did. I feel dumb for believing anything that she said during that time, for feeling bad for her during that time. She didn't even feel bad for herself. And I think with the way that she's talking, with the way that she describes things, it just makes me think she knew. She knew that it wasn't life-threatening yet. And she got the surgery to get rid of it so it wouldn't be. She knew. And that is, to me, the worst of all. She played it up. Oh, boo-hoo, feel sorry for me, when it wasn't anything like she described. And now, I could be wrong, and I am more than willing to admit when I am wrong. Because I did this honestly because I was curious. Because of all the lies that she's been caught in recently, I had to look back and see what she said at this time. And it makes me feel dumb for believing anything she said. It makes me feel dumb for feeling bad for her and hoping and praying for the best for her to get healthy, to get well, when it was all just baloney. I can see, at least I think I can see maybe where Nikocado Avocado was coming from when he was saying she lied. I think she did. Precancer cells doesn't automatically mean cancer. It just means they're abnormal and they could go back to normal. Or sometimes they can turn into cancer. But that's not what she was describing. And I think he's more justified now that I'm looking back at stuff, that she was lying, that this was all a ploy. And that makes me mad. Does that bother you? I mean, I know this was years ago, you know, but it still makes me mad. It still makes me mad that she has a platform after all of this deception. I'm not even going to say lies, because I do believe that she had precancer cells, something abnormal. I do believe that part. And that in itself, I think, would be very scary. And I would want to have a surgery and get rid of it myself to make sure it doesn't actually grow into cancer and spread and kill me that way. That would, it's awful. But I can see what he's saying now. She was very deceptive in the way that she talked and in the way she described things. And she just flat out wasn't correct in a lot of what she said. I'm not going to go over any more of this video. I'm too angry and upset. I'm not really angry and upset. I just feel I've caught enough of the deception. Put it that way. I will continue with these videos and point out again where she is deceiving people. But Karina Kaboom is so right when she says that she's very careful with her language. Very careful with her language. The problem is the truth is the truth. And she is not telling it. Anyway, that's all I got to say.